Hey, this is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee here in Appalachia, bringing you truth, integrity, honesty, common sense, all those characteristics that a Democrat has never heard of. But anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit about how dog food came about. Yeah, dog food was invented purely by accident. 1938. What did dogs eat before dog food was invented? Table scraps. We fed them from our table. Before the cook dumped all the table scraps into the hog slop bucket, she'd fix up a plate of scraps for the dog. A lot of times we just threw the dog a biscuit. They loved biscuits back in them days. Dogs used to hunt rabbits and catch squirrels and stuff like that to eat. They were pretty self-sufficient, but they were fed. They ate the same thing people ate. That's why dogs lived longer back in them days. They were really, really good pets and lay around on the front porch and they'd eat whatever we put out for them. I remember Grandma, she used to fix a plate for her favorite dog. And after breakfast, she always made sure the dog had a plate. Got a nice fresh biscuit. Sometimes she'd even put a little butter on it, maybe a little jam. And any meat that wasn't eaten for breakfast, she'd make sure the dog got plenty to eat. But in 1938, dog food was invented by a middle management character that at one of the big cereal companies, they would order grains, different grains come in, and they'd store those grains in warehouses before they were processed into cereal, breakfast cereal for humans. And a guy from the Food and Drug Administration was checking out the warehouses of grain for this big cereal company. Might have been Kellogg's. But anyway, he found that several warehouses of this grain had molded, mildewed, and he forbade the cereal company to convert that grain into human food cereal. He said that's not good enough for humans. You got to have good grain to make cereal for humans. And some wise ass in the back of the crowd, some middle management wise ass, was following around and said, well, how about dog food? Can we turn it into dog food? FDA guy thought about it a minute and said, well, sure. You can make dog food out of it if you want to. And by golly, that's how dog food was invented. They didn't want to throw away warehouses full of grain, so they made dog food out of it, started selling it in the stores as food specifically for dogs. And damn if it didn't catch on. And we're still buying this crap. Now, me and myself, I always like to feed my dogs what I ate, but I always had some dog food and cat food out for them if they got hungry between meals and wanted to snack a little bit. It was always there for them, but I always made sure my dogs, I used to have two Westies. I would drive through Subway. The Subway and Arby's were next to each other here in La Follette. And I'd drive through Subway, pick me up a tuna foot-long tuna, but my dogs didn't like tuna that much. And then I would go over to Arby's, which was next door, and get a couple of them all-meat beef with the syrup, the meat broth poured over it. And that's what my Westies ate. I'd get them one each, and they'd eat all the beef, and they loved that bread. It had that meat sauce soaked into the bread, and they loved that too. They'd clean their plates, and of course I couldn't eat but a half of my tuna foot long, and I'd put the other half in the fridge for the next day. That's I used to go through Long John Silver's, and I'd get an extra chicken plank and an extra fish plank for each one of my Westies. Come home and I'd break them up for them, put them on the plates, and we'd all eat together. It was just, we were a family, and they ate what I ate. But I always had cat food and dog food out for them if they wanted to nibble between meals a little bit, which they always did. You know, they would go in, nibble a little bit of the cat food. And but that's what a family does. You know, your dog eats what you eat. This crap about this dry-ass damn dog food, you bring your dog up on that, they'll live 10 or 12 years. If you want your dog to live 18, 20 years, you feed them good food, just like people. That's what they were used to. You know, they ate what people ate. You know, the dogs around Indian villages, they'd cut off a piece of meat for them to eat, and they'd cut off a piece and throw it to their dog. I'll tell you what, dogs ate, until 1938, dogs ate like humans. But since then, we've been giving them that molded, mildewed crap that comes out of China, and sometimes it even poisons our dogs. But anyway, this is your hillbilly historian telling you that dog food didn't even exist before 1938. Not this old fake bagged up crap. They ate what people ate. And I've always made sure my dogs ate what I ate. I took care of my dogs. Just like right now I'm taking care of a kitty cat here down between my legs. This kitty cat, Dixie's his name. He's a good old boy. And I've got another female over here. She's asleep on the cabinet in front of the open windows. Sassy's her name. Sassy and Dixie. Sometimes you see them run up and down the floor here while I'm talking. They're really good cats. Now, I feed my cat. My kitty cats had broth out of a pot roast that was in the crock pot all day. That's what they ate tonight. I mixed the cat food in with that broth, and boy, they licked that bowl clean. They loved that. And, you know, so, of course, vets will tell you that people food will harmful for your cats and dogs. Well, let me tell you something. Cats and dogs lived way before your vet did. They were around thousands of years before your vet showed up, and they ate what we ate, and did fine. And so there you go. 1938. That's the year they invented dog food because of a bunch of warehouses full of molded, mildewed crap grain that couldn't be used for cereal. There you go. You're a hillbilly historian telling you stuff you'll never, never see in your high school, college textbooks. They don't ever tell you when dog food was invented, do they? But anyway, this is your Hillbilly Historian signing off from Appalachia here in East Tennessee Hills. You have a good